The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to
DeaconLive. DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, get ready for the Frankenstein rabbits and what over-the-counter drug made this woman face fall off. And YouTube now knows that you are dumb. And what do you do when you're terminally ill? Why? Buy everyone crab dinners, of course. All this and much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live. And for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you up to date on viral news stories and videos you might have missed over the last several days, or we'll be talking about it here in the upcoming few. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's all we care about. And right now, we dive right into the news and what everyone's talking about right now, which kind of blew up right away and then kind of just faded off in the distance. Earlier this week, Jen Powell is the first Major League Baseball female umpire. She just took behind the plate. And how did she do? Well, the first pitch that was thrown out was a little, what do they call it, inside. And now the Major League Baseball has this square box to kind of gauge of as far as what the umpires, how close they are to get into the strike zone. And it's up to the interpretation of the umpire, but this box is just sitting up there. There's no real, I'm sure there's a rule and standards as far as how they place this box up there, and it's different for every batter, and the umpire might see it something a little bit different. So the first pitch goes out, and it's a little inside, and she calls it a strike. And that's the very first pitch. So everyone kind of rolls their eyes and goes, okay, we got this female behind the plate. She's the first one in the Major League Baseball. And the first call she gets wrong. How many more calls is she going to get wrong? That's what's on everyone's mind right now. Whether, this female umpire is going to do good in the Major League Baseball. So I've got a little thread of different pitches that were thrown during that first game. And you tell me how bad it was, if it was bad at all. So don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video that goes along tandem with the podcast over on YouTube. You can search Deacon Live Podcast and give us a little like and subscribe over there. So here we go in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. So here we go. This is game one. Well, the first game that she's had. This is Jen Powell, P-A-W-O-L. So here we go.
And here we go. Joey Wentz likes that first call from Jim Powell.
How about the Tigers?
Here's another one.
Those guys are feeling like they have
outside.
Here's Stowers.
Outside. Another strike.
2 to Stowers.
Way outside.
It's outside. No, called. Strike 3. Fastball rings up.
She missed 14 calls in the game, as was ranked 13 of the 15 umpires of that day. So so that gives her a 90%. Let's go back to me now. That gives her a 90% rating for the day as far as umpires calling and stuff. Now, don't forget, they've got that box up there just as a guide. And like I said, the umpires have, discretion as far as the way the batter's standing and, if they lean over, if they crunch up, whatever they do like that. But the American public doesn't see that. They see that square box and said, this is law. It has to go in this box in order to be a ball or a strike. And she got, 13 missed calls, which is 90%. And you're like going, well, is that good or bad? There's a lot of other rookie Major League Baseball umps that came in, and even before the box, we're getting like 83%, 89%. There was a couple that were 91, 92, floating around the same area that Jen was. So she's right in par. She's not the worst as far as a rookie umpire coming in with her first game, and she's not the best. But she's got a lot of room for improvement, and I give her a lot of props for everything that she does. And who is she? Well, let's find a little bit background on her. As a girl growing up in Long Island, New York, Jen Powell wanted to play Little League Baseball, but that wasn't what little girls did in 1980, so she played softball instead. In the spring of 2024, Powell umpired her first Major League Baseball game, spring training though, and it seemed to be on the verge of doing what no woman has done before. She's umpired a regular season Major League Baseball. On August 9th, 2025, she made history for the first time as a woman Major League Baseball in a Major League Baseball game, working as behind the plate during the Miami Marlins and the Atlanta Braves game. Powell feels, though, the most important thing is not getting into the history books, but getting the job done on the field. On February 2024, in an interview that she had, she said, really the only thing that matters is that I get the next play right, and then I got to get the next play right after that. So on and so forth. So she spent several years in what camera am I on? She's an art teacher. She actually teaches art at a university up there. And in 2000, and she coached like part-time and stuff on the side, and she worked hard at both of her jobs. And in 2015, she got a call up from the guy running the minor league baseball team, AAA and all that, and they said, hey, would you like to umpire games or be a ref during the game? Is it ref? I always called him Blue. Come on, Blue. Come on, Blue, get it right. And she did that. She has over 1,200 games between 2015 all the way up to now. So 10 years. That's a lot of games. And she qualifies to be her position. She's earned it. She's going to do well. You're like going, well, compared to other sports, NBA had a female coach or female referee 28 years ago. 28 years ago. NBA had their first female referee running up and down the floor. And then 10 years ago, Major League Football had their first female. And then 3 years ago, Major League Soccer. So the Major League Baseball is just coming up to terms and saying, let's bring in a female umpire and see how she does. There's no difference between male and female as far as calling the shots. There's no bias. There's no advantage of being, one versus the other. Your job is to make sure that you call the right play. You make the right decision during that play, during that time. Now, understanding the rules is a different story. I know there's a lot of guys out there that don't understand the rules, and there's a lot of females out there that don't understand the rules. What does it mean when they do a kickoff football pass upside down basketball hoop slam? Honey, you're so cute when you're dumb, but no. So there's a lot of things out there. I don't know why it took this long for Major League Baseball, because it's a man sport. It's a man sport, yes. Female umpires, it's not a female umpire sport. It's an anyone can umpire sport. So good for her. Props to her. I hope she does well in the future. All right, when we come back, what over-the-counter drug makes your face fall off? Well, I'll dive into what it is, and you probably have it in your counter. You might even be taking it right now. Hopefully your face won't fall off, and I'll give you all the details when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. We'd love to hear from you, and the way you can be part of the show, you can be podcast famous. The way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the very top of the page says, leave a message for Deacon Live. Be heard. If you got a microphone on your device, we'd love to hear from you. Your voice can be heard right here alongside of us here in the studio. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. So get your voice message in now. Comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. If you don't get it in soon enough, we'll play it on the very next week. You can talk about on any of the past shows that we've been doing. You can ask me anything. You can tell me anything. And you can be anonymous as well. Just go over to B Podcast, or not B Podcast fans. Go over to prophetradio.com. At the top of the page says Be Heard, and leave a message, and it comes right to our inbox. Now, this article right here, I can't tell if it's a good article or bad article for this energy drink. And I don't know why. First of all, I don't know why it's an article at all, but here we go. Definitely not a sign, you guys, is the name of this article. A Missouri man cracks open a can of Sour Patch Kids edition of the Ghost energy drink, and then a fly takes a sip. Okay. Watching a fly land on something you're eating or drinking can put you off from taking another bite or sip. Flies do have a liking for feces, or crap, or shit, after all. So it's naturally to feel gross about this in a situation. A fly recently landed on... These ads make the article jump up and jump down. You don't care, though. A fly recently had a Missouri farmer rethinking his beverage of choice for an entirely different reason. Trent Doss, who goes by walking on the Windsor 4840, cracked open a cold can of Blue Raspberry Sour Patch Kids, the Ghost energy drink, on a hot summer day. Then a fly came along and landed on top of it. Doss said he just sat there and watched him rub his hands together for what seemed like eternity, and then rubbed his back legs for a little bit and then took a sip of the drink. Finally, it took flight, but it didn't make it far. Then it flew over there in a circle, made about 1.5 feet, and then fell out of the sky and landed dead there on the ground. Dead on the ground. Doss zooms in and sees the dead fly on the ground. I don't know if that's true or not. So let's see. Let's see if we can find his video real quick and make him a little bit famous. So here we go. Walking on Windsor, whatever. And I'm going to switch over to camera. Here it is. I'm going to switch over to camera 4 so we can see this in real time and find out what he's talking about, this fly. So here we go. Audio up and play. It's loading. Oh, there we go.
I just watched a fly take a drink from the top of my blue raspberry ghost here. And it sat there and rubbed its hands together for what seemed like an eternity. Then it leaned forward and rubbed its back feet together for the same amount of time. Then it flew off and made one circle and made about 1.5 feet and fell out of the sky and is laying dead down there. I think it had a heart attack.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. So someone in the comments said caffeine found in energy drinks acts as a natural pesticide and can be toxic to insects like flies at high doses, potentially causing paralysis behavioral changes, and reduces the lifespan, even ending in death. However, low doses can sometimes increase activity or improve learning of certain insects. So let's see, what else does this article say? What's in the Ghost Energy drink? Ghost Energy drink, including the Blue Raspberry Sour Patch Kids edition, has no sugar, fat, or cholesterol, and has about 5 calories. So it's a low-calorie beverage. Fans love the Ghost because it packs a wallop of energy boost. It contains about 20 or 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is about twice of a cup of coffee. Ghost Energy drinks have about 1,000 milligrams of Carnipure, a branded type of L-carnitine, an amino acid that helps your body burn fat into energy. They further contain 150 milligrams of alpha GCP, a supplement to increase cognition, and 100 milligrams of Neofactor, a patented supplement used to improve alertness. Basically, every time you take a swig of Ghost Energy drink, you're ingesting 4 different substances meant to make your body and mind body fire on all extra cylinders. So there you go. But is it deadly like all energy drinks? Ghost is safe for healthy adults, children, and people with certain heart, vascular, and other conditions should generally advise to avoid these drinks. So there you go. If you see a blue Ghost Energy drink and you got flies around the house, you might want to throw that out there as well. Spray your lawn with it. It might grow just as fast. Now, this woman right here, a lady's face fell off after a horrible reaction to I can never say that. It's so stupid. Ibuprofen. There we go. Left her in a coma. Oh, my God. A woman suffered a nightmarish response to pain medication after giving birth to her third child 5 years ago. Having come through the emergency C-section, Alicia Rogers was just 3 weeks into the ibuprofen-fueled recovery when her face began to swell and a rash appeared over her chest. The Nebraskan, why did they say mom? Because this is an English writer, I guess. The Nebraskan mother was informed by doctors that it was either a case of scarlet fever or pink eye. That's kind of the extreme, isn't it? And was told to continue taking the painkiller. Just hours later, Alicia's facial skin was ravaged by blisters, leaving her unrecognizable to her family. So I'm going to switch over to camera 4. There she is right there. She looks like someone a mom, that's her teacher picture, like she's a teacher. And this is what she looks like now. Oh, Jesus, look at her. Oh, her face is all swollen. She looks like she's got hives all over her body. I'm going to leave it there so you guys can see it as I'm reading this. She was immediately rushed back to the A&E and the child education technician when they diagnosed her with a rare condition known as Stevens-Johnson syndrome, or SJS. Before being transferred to intensive care unit. SJS is a reaction to the immune system when it sparks a widespread inflammation in the response to a medication. The 27-year-old had to be put into a medical-induced coma to fight the sepsis and multi-organ failure. Jesus Christ. While the medics gave her 5 to 10% chance of survival. Oh my God. Can you believe that? Her loved ones were put through 3 weeks of agonizing uncertain before Alicia finally woke from her coma. Oh, all right, switch back to me now. We believe it was all triggered by taking ibuprofen, she says. I took it twice a day for the C-section recovery pain and then continued taking it to ease my pain and swelling when I developed flu-like symptoms. Ibuprofen was my go-to med. I basically take it my whole life since I was 14 and help with my menstrual pains. I didn't want to say period, but it's menstrual pains. They don't know why I had a reaction to it this time around. The doctors don't really have an explanation for it. They said just my body decided it didn't like it anymore and was very upsetting and confusing. There's no prevention, and once it starts, there's nothing you can do about it. And there's definitely a chance that I could get it anytime again. Alicia with her early symptoms also include burning sensation and upon swallowing. Then my eyes started to swell. The next day, my whole face was swollen. Both eyes were swollen shut. Her SJS progression into the most severe toxic epidermal necrolysis, which is as deadly as it sounds. The doctor said her skin had died and detached. Oh my God. Then they called it sloughing. It fell off in sheets, Alicia says. The doctor said 90 to 95% of my skin came off my body. Since your skin is the biggest organ, this caused me to go into sepsis and multi-organ failure. Jesus Christ. While in deep coma, Alicia underwent full body skin incisions and grafting alongside her. She went through incisions and grafting. After waking up, she was discharged from the hospital about a month later. Alicia, who is still recovering from the long-term complications related to SJS, said, I absolutely have no idea what happened to me. I forgot I even gave birth. I have a lot of lost memories. We don't want people to be afraid of medicines. We do want people to be mindful of what can happen. So there you go. Can you imagine that? You've been taking that. Am I back on me now? You've been taking that medicine for as long as you can. Now, I think because this is our third kid, and women's bodies are amazing doing all this stuff. And she had a C-section, the kid comes out. So the hormones and stuff, your whole entire body changes. It completely changes for a female. And so her body, she was normally taking ibuprofen all the time, and then her body just says, I don't like that anymore. This is new. This is all new. I've got other enzymes and molecules and stuff floating around your body. I don't like this, so we're going to just shed your skin off, blister it up and stuff. So I guess she's all right. She's dealing with that, and more power to her, I guess. I don't know what to say in that situation. What do you take for a headache now? Jim Beam. Don't do that. When we come back, this lady right here got in the hospital, got a very weird diagnosis of what was in her lungs when she thought she had the flu. It gets worse, so stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us over on Facebook, and the reason why you're going to do that is because all these articles that I'm talking about here on the show, I will post some of them over there on the Facebook feed, so you can see the whole entire, if you're not watching this on the YouTube video, you can see the articles and read them for yourselves and pass them along to all your friends and stuff, and it kind of breaks up the monotony of all the stuff that you get on your Facebook page, all the advertisements, all the campaigns, not campaigns, but, the ICE stuff and Trump stuff and all that crap. It just gives you a little bit more of a life outside of what's been bombarding your Facebook feed right now. So this gentleman right here, actually, this young lady right here, what do you do when you're 22 years old and the doctor tells you have no more treatment left and you're getting ready to die? For one young woman, the terminal bone cancer that meant skipping financial caution and leading into crab dinners for keepsake gifts and donations, all on a credit card she knows she will never pay off. She was told that she was going to die, and she says, well, guess what? This all goes on my credit cards now. The woman says, I probably have a couple weeks, maybe a couple months at best, she wrote. I took out a credit card and now I'm buying whatever I want. The debt will die with me, she says. I give no fucking shit as far as what happens to me after that. It doesn't say that, but it says expletive, and I kind of put that in there. She headed off critics directly, and if you want to beef with me about driving your bank fees up with this behavior, at least you get to live. Ha ha ha, she says. So let's see what's a little bit more going on with her story. Don't care. Pause. Her post charts the road that she's traveled on, losing a leg, grueling chemo, and a brief return to work, and then the slide when the treatment stopped working, with no house, no car, and about $2,600 in the bank, and a 0 APR credit card with a $6,000 limit. She decided to spend her remaining time on the moments that felt meaningful to her. That meant a little indulgence and a lot of love. She bought sentimental gifts for her family with her handwriting on them, treating herself to an awesome crab at a fancy seafood place, and donated to animal shelters, food banks, and cancer charities that helped her along the way. She also drew a clear boundary on faith. She appreciated prayers but wasn't going to change her beliefs. I guess she's not that religious. The crowd responded, swung mostly supportively and practical. One commenter urged, life is too short as it is. Yours is shorter to live, and live it to the fullest. Live as much as you can, another one says. Go crazy, just make sure that your loved ones are isolated and insulated, educated, and from the predatory debt collectors. Another one pushed, this is riskier tactics by buying gift cards with credit. Very few warned about central transactions could be clawed back to creditors to dispute them later. So she says, basically, I'm done. I'm going to do all this stuff. I'm going to spend my credit card. I would get a couple more credit cards. $6,000? I could go $6,000 in a day, 2 days maybe. I would get a couple credit cards and run that up, and then all the debt dies with her. How does that work, though? Because does the estate, whoever takes over, what she says, she doesn't have a house, she doesn't have a car, she's got $2,600 in the bank. I guess they really can't do anything with it. Can they push it over? I don't know what country. Does it say what country this is in? Let me go back. Doesn't say what country this is in, but this is from bazinga.com. I know. It doesn't say exactly where she's at. So maybe the rules are different where she's at, but at least she's going out with a bang. Now, this woman right here got a horrible news when she went into the doctor's office thinking that she had a heart attack. But actually, it was oil filling up her lungs from what? What do you think oil filling up her lungs was? Vaping. Yes. Yes, you got it. Why am I talking to you like children? Like I'm teaching preschool out here. A woman was left horrified by being told that her lung condition after vaping for almost 2 years. The dangers of vaping has been outlined in several new studies and warnings from professionals, while disposable vapes have been banned in the UK altogether. Can I just say something before we continue this? We smoked for how long? Years and years and years and years and years. And then they said by the time we got the 80s, they said, well, that's kind of bad for you. The 70s, they were like going, don't smoke. 60s, they were like going, you can smoke at moderations. But now, it's taken this long. We realize that smoking's bad. Vaping has only been around, 20 years? Maybe 20 years? And automatically they're saying, this is what we're seeing. This is what's been going on. Now, has the technology caught up to where we can test for all this stuff a little bit quicker? But then they don't say anything really about marijuana. They're saying, vaping's bad, and you can all say big tobacco's behind it all. I'm sure it is. So the article continues and says, however, Chloe Eyes, that's her name, from Florida, was told by doctors that she had popcorn lung, which is a buildup of oil in her organs. The mother of 5 switched from cigarettes to vaping in 2023, good for you, after 3 years, claiming that she hated the smell of smoke. Well, don't start a fire, right? Fast forward 23 months later, Chloe woke up on the 12th of July this year with sharp pains in her chest and called the ambulance. She thought she was having a heart attack. Following the number of medical tests, she was told that she had popcorn lung-related injuries after oily substance has built up on her lungs. Chloe, at 25 years old, is now looking to warn others from the serious repercussions of vaping that could have on their future. Was this chick just sucking down carts? That's what the kids say, right? Carts? Sucking on carts left and right? It's believed that vaping can cause a lipidoid phenomena. Lipidoid phenomenon where oil builds up in the lungs can lead to damage and inflammation. She recalls waking up at 2:30 a.m. with bad pains on that day in July, adding, "I couldn't catch my breath and I had to hit myself in the chest multiple times to be able to catch my breath." Give yourself, what is the CPR? Remembering feeling terrified, the mother said that she felt like she was suffocating before a trip to the hospital revealed that her left lung had an oil pocket in it and was completely blocking the airwave. Oh, gross. The American went on, "Around both my lungs was oil. It was scary to hear this. It's the oil from the vape that is thickening up as you hit it, the vape, and then attaching itself to your lungs." So there you go. That's how you're getting it. Technically at that point, I had popcorn lung, and that's what got me here. So be careful out there. It's still available for sale. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's still available out there, popcorn lung. So you just have to be careful when vaping, or just stop vaping at all altogether. In that sense. All right, guys, when we come back, how does YouTube know that you are dumb? Well, I'll dive into that story when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we'll give you something for free, but what you got to do to get it is go over to prophetradio.com, PROPHET radio.com. At the very top of the page says free swag. Pick out something, a little drop-down menu there, and you can see all the fine programming that comes out of this studio, and pick yourself something out. It's just their way of saying thank you for listening to us and being part of all the different podcasts that come out of this studio. So pick yourself something out, and they'll send it to you. It's that easy. They got magnets, stickers, keychains. I think there's headphones in there somewhere, so get that now over at prophetradio.com and the little free swag section right now. Now, as of today, people flying Southwestern, you've heard about it, you've been warned about it, you've been threatened by it, and now it has come to fruition. Southwest Airline has made a number of controversial moves over the past few months and have left travelers scratching their collective head. The airline, known for offering free bags, decided to change its most beloved perk by charging $35 for the first checked bag and $45 for the second one, unless travelers have an upgrade status with the carrier. Not long later, Southwest, not Southwestern, that's a different company. Southwest announced its change to its boarding policy as well, allowing travelers to select their seats rather than beginning a boarding number just ahead of its free-for-all seat selection process. Southwest Airlines and Peak Coffee announced a new partnership for the coffee roaster to become the official coffee provider. So if you're like Peet's Coffee, Peets coffee, that'll be on flights right now. A new partnership originally announced on July 30th begins today, August 13th. This is defying moments for Peet's, says Eric Lauterbach, president and CEO, CP3O of Peet's Coffee, said in a statement. To be part of Southwest flights means more than expanding our reach. It's also about creating memorable coffee moments in the skies. Oh, Jesus Christ, sound like a Hallmark card. This partnership introduced Peet's experience to millions of customers as part of the daily ritual in the way that personnel and meaningful are. That's personal and meaningful. Most importantly, it brings the rich, bold flavor of Pete's wherever the journey takes them. Buy an ad, Pete's. Buy an ad. So there you go. If you're American, I'm sorry, not American. If you're a Southwest traveler, you will now have to pay $35 for your first bag, $45 for your second bag, and then you get assigned seating now, which was great. The assigned seating was stupid because are you in Group A? Yes, I'm in Group A. Are you in Group B? Yes, I'm in Group B. But then, stupidly, they put some kind of fucking number on there. Are you Group B, number 1, or number 16? Well, I'm number 3. Well, I'm number 2, so I should be in front of you, right? No, we're all in Group B. But then you get these old ladies and just these determined, egotistical people that say, well, I'm before you because you got yours. You're Group B, number 32, and I'm Group B, number 16, so I should be way in front of you. It's already assigned seating. You're just not assigned seating. It's just assigned order, then assigned seating. So there you go. Southwest is getting away and doing away with that right now. Now, a few weeks back, we talked about how YouTube was checking your ID to see if you're an adult based on the shows and stuff that you were watching. So if you're a little kid and you're watching SpongeBob and then you say, okay, I want to look at boobies, they're going to go, no, little Timmy, you can't watch that anymore. And then, you know, if you're an adult and you're watching like Fortnite games and stuff like that, and then you want to go to like some not X-rated content because they don't have that on there, but you go to some kind of adult content where they have 18 and over. I think some of our episodes on other podcasts are 18 and over. They won't let you because like, no, Mr. Donaldson, you can't watch that because you were watching Fortnite for a while and now you're going to watch Faces of Death. No, you're not going to be able to do that on our platform. YouTube right now has released in the same sense where they actually know that you are dumb. I can tell you right away. They can tell how intelligent you are. YouTube recently announced it will be implementing a new kind of AI-driven age identification, which I just told you about, and it won't need you to give up any information to tell how old you are. On the surface, this is a good thing because the reality is that there have never been any meaningful age filters on the internet. It's probably why most modern kids now look and act like traumatized, brain-dead zombies. All right, got that part. If you're thinking your age is the only thing that the internet overlords knows about you just by watching your click history, you haven't been paying attention. We are entering a world where tech companies know everything about us and every user on the platform, whether it's that the user discloses or not. They know the things that you do or don't know about yourself. They can also make a dystopian projections about where this will all lead to. I'm not sure if that will be a bad thing or not, but we'll see. In the case of YouTube, you can bet that they are already using the data that you curate in your video feed, knowing they know that your IQ score is and will likely start feeding you the same content specifically designed to appeal to your level of intelligence. This probably explains the recent massive promotion of extremely low effort, very dumb AI slop on the platform. I guess that's what they're talking about. YouTube knows that the most of you are dumbasses. And so it is giving you all kinds of dumbass content like people like you have always wanted. Meanwhile, people with the intellect to enjoy something besides ingesting internet slop will have a higher quality of content without having to sort through all the garbage. The slop eaters. What the slop eaters like to ingest. Whether they are enough smart people to make creating the high quality content economical is a question that has yet been answered. The biggest downside there is that the dumb are always going to be dumb and get dumber later on. But the upside is that you may be smart. The smarter people will get smarter over time and then be smarter than ever. Or it will all end up living in some kind of sort of idiocracy hellhole. That kind of scenario. So what they're saying is, am I still good? Okay, just want to make sure. So what they're saying is, if you watch a lot of slop, you're going to slop in, slop out. If you're watching like, how to make a clock work properly, and you watch all these how-to videos, you're going to get that all the time. So they're catering to us. Did we know this? Yeah, on a certain level, I think we did. Are we mad? Hey, man, I want to watch something fancy. All right, here, Jethro. Here's how to load and unload a gun. Oh, man, how to clean a gun with your friends in the room. That type stuff. You're like, oh, why would they do that? And then there's other versions and stuff that go on down the chain. But there you go. YouTube now knows if you're dumb or not. Based on the videos. I could have told you that. I could have told. I've sit around watching people for a long time. I could tell you that right away. All right, when we come back, Frankenstein robots. Did I say robots? Sorry. All right, when we come back, Frankenstein rabbits are coming to get you. And they're attacking the U.S. right now, and they're spreading rapidly. And what does that mean for you? Well, I'll dive into what that means when we come back. So stick around. You'll listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, you can be part of the podcast. You can be part of the program. The way you can do that is go over to prophetradio.com, Prophet radio. At the very top of the page says, be heard. Leave a message for Deacon Live. You can be anonymous if you want. It wants an email. It's not an email grab or anything. It just wants to make sure you're not a robot. Speak right into it. If you got a microphone on your device, your tablet, whatever you're listening to us on or at, speak right into it, and your voice will come right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast as well. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, and a little town called Marshville. Now, my wife at night when I roll over, she's like, "Can I pick?" I'm like, "Yeah, you can pick." And what she does, she's got the little tools and stuff, and she kind of like picks on my skin and picks on my. Women do that a lot, they like to pick, pimples and blackheads and all that stuff, and she likes to, do a little exploring, I guess, for the most part on my body. But this woman right here says I popped a pimple in the triangle of death and ended up in urgent care on 4 prescription medications. So let's find out what the triangle of death is. Please do not squeeze. This is a warning from a mother of 3, Lish Marie, who ended up in urgent care and filling out 4 different prescriptions after she popped a pimple on her face. If you're watching me here on the YouTube video, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video as well. I have one here between my eyes, right here on my right below on the left-hand side of my lip, and then they're embedded hairs because I shave all the time, and sometimes I don't change the blade often enough, and I'll get a little ingrown hair. So, but I don't think this woman, Lish Marie, has ingrown hairs on her face. So let's continue with her story. But the spot in the question sat in what dermatologists called the triangle of death. The pimple that she was going to pop is in the triangle of death. It's a blemish blunder that could have actually killed her. Jesus Christ, really? Lish is her name. Lish. Tried to pop a cyst pimple just below her nostril in a pretty common place for zits to grow. I wonder if she's got a TikTok video. Within 4 hours, things got bad, she says, with that side of her face swelling up so much that when she tried to smile, the opposite side actually raised into a grin. She said the results were extremely painful. The doctor at the urgent care put her on 4 medications to take care of the infection, including steroids and antibiotics. Let's see if we can look her up. If we can find her and see what she has to say about her face. Here she is right here. I'm going to switch over to camera 4 and let's see what she has to say about this pimple that popped on her face. So let's go. Oh. That's it? I hate videos like this. So she popped a pimple and it looks like she got punched in the face. And it's like right underneath. All right, gotcha. It's enough for you. It's enough for you. She popped it like right here, right where the crease of your nose meets your face, and right before it goes in your nostril. There's I guess a pimple right there, and she popped it. So let's find out a little bit more about her story and what should we look for outside of the pimple right there. When you squeeze a zit there, you leave a small open wound, which bacteria likely from your hands or the air, can enter your bloodstream. This can lead into an infection, which may be carried into the brain. Complications can include blindness, stroke, paralysis, and even death. Jesus Christ, just from a pimple? Another TikToker named Hope revealed in 2023 that her case, which led to a staph infection and that was worse than childbirth, she said, and left her with a scar. Well aware of the triangle of death, Lish knew quickly she got lucky, and I think she caught hers extremely quickly within hours, so now she's on a ton of meds, she said. Within 24 hours, she was doing better, though she noted that her smile was a little bit crooked for 3 days, and then she was 100% back to normal later on. While the commenters chimed in to say that they popped plenty of pimples in that area without incidents, others had shared similar scary experiences. One person said, "Happened to my daughter. We spent a week in the hospital, and then she had to have surgery on her face," wrote one person. Jesus Christ, I almost died, another one says. "It's no joke. I was hospitalized for a week and a half and then had surgery," another one wrote. So be careful. The triangle of death, if you're looking at me right now, why do they call it the triangle of death? Let's switch over to camera. What camera am I on? It'll switch over here in a minute. Right here, triangle of death, right here where the crease of your nose is, and right before your nostril, is that the triangle of death? Now I know, because I had like lots of piercings and stuff, I know that there's a nerve that runs right here by your cheekbone, and if you get that pinched or anything like that, it could cause some kind of paralysis or anything like that. They call it like Bell's palsy sometimes, which is what I have on this side of my face. I had an infection, a tooth infection that got up there and got a hold of that. But I pretty much 95% of my face has gotten back to normal. But that was an infection, like an actual tooth infection that got bad that I didn't take care of. I was a young kid at the time. I was a young warthog. But popping a pimple there, oh my God. Now, something you need to be aware of right now, all landowners, all people out there. There is a disease that's sweeping through the rabbit colonies in the United States, as wildlife experts have stressed residents do not go near them after the whole COVID-19 outbreak. All right, here we go. We're going to blame COVID-19 on this. 6 years later. So these little bunnies, a disturbing virus is sweeping through soft-cuddly bunnies in the United States and turning them into nightmarish Frankenstein rabbits with testicles protruding out of their tiny faces. Oh my God. Testicles? Oh, tentacles. Sorry. I said testicles. Oh, it's one of those days. It's got tentacles, not testicles. Tentacles protruding out of its face. Boy, my God. I do need some glasses. It sounds like something out of Wallace and Gromit. Okay, lurking makes them seem more sinister than they actually are when actual fact, they're just poor little bunnies that have contracted a potential fatal virus that could even kill them as long as the horns grow longer, and eventually they will no longer be able to see or eat before they finally succumb to their starvation. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen The Last of Us. They had stuff growing, like tentacles and stuff growing out of their faces and stuff too. Is this kind of like the start of that? It sounds horrific, but what's the worst case scenario? In other cases, a cotton ball rabbit with the disease will go away after about a year. So if they got it, it'll go away unless it, comes back. It looks like black quills or black toothpicks sticking out of the side of its mouth. Describe one person. So let's see. This is rabbits with tentacles in Fort Collins. This is from N9 News. So here we go. We'll switch over to camera 4 here so we can get a little bit more on this after this commercial. And here we go.
Yeah, I've noticed these rabbits more than once while walking my dog, and it turns out I'm not alone. So I reached out to Colorado Parks and Wildlife. It seems rabbits enjoy living in Fort Collins just as much as people. They're often spotted hopping through neighborhoods looking for grub. But some southeast Fort Collins neighbors noticed bunnies were cute. Wasn't exactly the word that came to mind.
Oh, poor thing.
A photo of one of the rabbits I've seen with the growth. I also saw this photo posted on Reddit, also spotted in Fort Collins.
Like a scabbyish looking kind of growth over her face.
Looks like it was black quills or black toothpicks sticking out all around his mouth.
Susan Mansfield said she saw a different bunny with tentacles in her yard in recent years.
He had this same black stuff on him, and I thought he would die off during the winter, but he didn't. He came back a second year, and it grew.
Some
Yes, I have.
feel bad for our tiny neighbors.
If they have, something that, we can help them with.
Colorado Parks and Wildlife confirms this is a virus that's not contagious to other animals like people's dogs, but they say leave this wildlife alone like you would with any of the neighborhood bunnies.
So it says, yes. Oh, let me go back to me now. So, yes, it's called cottontail rabbit papilloma virus, or CRPV, which was first discovered in cottontail rabbits in Midwestern America back in 1993. They're also known as slope papilloma virus. NOD is discovered by its genetics DNA virus, which means that it causes tumors, and it's found on the skin of rabbits, while the papilloma virus can lead to development in the cells, which basically causes cancer. And how does it spread? Researchers understand that the transmitted at first instance through disease carried by mosquitoes and ticks, among other biting insects, and can also pass from rabbit to rabbit. Direct contact between infected rabbits, particularly through the skin lesions, can also cause the virus to spread. Finally, it can also pass through bedding, food, and water bowls. So while like other studies have suggested the papillomavirus can be transmitted through blood transfusion too, although they have to be hopping mad to think that rabbits can do that, with the exception of Bugs Bunny. Ha ha ha. So basically what it looks like is like little antlers and stuff that are sticking out the front of the cottontail bunny. Only them, I guess, sticking out of their face and stuff. I'm telling you, it's The Last of Us, where they had the search how they found out how to make the creatures of The Last of Us. It's this whole virus that attacks an animal and makes them do the things that the virus wants it to do. And we're not far from it. All right, guys, if you've enjoyed the show, make sure you follow us over on Facebook. Give us a like and subscribe over there. Make sure you go over to YouTube. It's not a money grab over there. It's just another way, an avenue for you to enjoy the podcast, another media source. And if you want to email me at any time, you can do that as well at deacon@profitradio.com. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name is the Deacon, saying good night and good night.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
Bye. See you later. Welcome back, guys. On today's show, get ready for Frankenstein rabbits and over-the-counter drug that made... What? Oh, fuck. I did it again. I fucked up. Try it again. Welcome back, guys. On today's show, get ready for Frankenstein rabbits and what over-the-counter drug made this woman's face fall off, and YouTube now knows that you are dumb. And what do you do when you are terminally ill? Buy everyone crab dinners. All this and much more we discuss here on Deacon Live, and for the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you up to date on the social news stories and viral videos that you might have missed over the last several days, or we'll be talking about it in the upcoming few. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? Jesus Christ. About a foot and a... Fuck! I'm sorry. I'm going to have to stop this whole entire thing. Stop.